Serious mixtape.
The Lord is my shepherd.
Just need somebody to just ride to.
The Lord is my shepherd.
Do a little confession on repeat.
The Lord is my shepherd.
1 a.m. again.
Welcome back to the Andre Allen Network, and it is Sunday. So today I have my beautiful wife with me, Georgetta. Welcome, baby.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you, babe.
And today we're going to talk about spending time, daddy-daughter time and mommy-daughter time. So this past week, I had the honor of going on a 7th grade cultural expedition trip. It was a trip for my little girls, 7th grade trip. And during this trip, we traveled to 3 cities. We did Philadelphia, we did New York, and we did Boston. And basically this trip was to give our 7th graders exposure to the 3 different cities, the history of Philadelphia, history of New York, history of Boston, expose them to MIT, expose them to Harvard. So these 7th graders, which I think it was a total of about 7 or 8 7th graders that went on the trip. And so it gave them exposure and exposed them to things that to help them enhance them mentally and enhance their knowledge of history, U.S. history, but basically just to give them exposure into the different cities, how to do critical thinking, and how to do, how to problem solve. So, there were some issues that we ran into during the trip, and the kids had to use their thinking caps in order to problem solve and how to solve some issues and solve problems. But the main thing was I got a chance to spend, 7 days with my daughter on this trip.
Without me.
Without my wife. It was just me and my daughter, she is 13 years old?
Yes, 13.
She's 13 years old. So 13 years old, we got a chance to hang out, just me and her on this trip. And of course, she was with all her other classmates also. But it just allowed me some time to hang with her, get to know her a little bit more, and tighten the bond, figure out what's going on in her mind, what she's thinking, how she think. I got a chance to see how she interact with other kids also. So that was really enlightening also, how she didn't want daddy to hang around certain times when she just wanted to just be with her friends, and she didn't want daddy hanging around with her. So it was at times I had to cut off to the side and just let her be with her friends and that kind of thing. You know how it is when they get teenagers. We're not cool to hang around, especially when they're with their friends. So they'll say, hey, daddy, why don't you just go to the side and sit over there? And so that was kind of, that was
pull back a little bit.
I had to pull back a little bit and let her hang with her friends. But it was a great time. We enjoyed it. I might do some footage just to kind of show you some things that we did in Philadelphia, things we did in New York, and things we did in Boston. But it was a great trip. And Mom, let me ask you, because you got a chance to go on 2 trips with her, I think when she was in the 5th grade and the 6th grade. What do you think about, spending time with your child?
Well, that's always been important to me as a mother. I've been a mother for a long time. We have a 13-year-old, but we also have a 30-year-old. And so, spending time with them has always been important, because I know without that interaction, what kids can kind of, get into. You said earlier how they, their little minds think, but I think, that daddy-daughter time is so special, because that me and the girls, we spend time together a lot.
Right,
whether it be me and all 3 of us, or whether it just be me and Ava, or me and Gabby, we always spending time together. So it was important for you to have that time without me having my hand in it, to kind of get, like you said, to tighten a bond that you have as father, daughter. And then from my perspective of me not having a biological father present in my life coming up, I think that is so crucial for girls to have, because you guys, you teach her, you're the first one to teach her how to love herself, how to be treated.
Right.
You're her protector, all of that. So I think that is very, very important. So I was happy that you guys got a chance to kind of get away for a little bit. Plus,
Oh,
it gave
yeah.
you a little break.
Right, yeah, gave mom a break. And I tell you, I just absolutely love it. We had fun. We tightened our bond a little bit. You know, I got a chance to see how she interact in different settings, how she communicate with her friends and everything like that. So it was a great time. We really enjoyed it. You know, we did a lot of walking. I mean, we did a lot of walking. So, I mean, we walked in Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. We probably averaged about 7 miles a day just in walking. And so it was something else to see. And I really enjoyed the time. That's a time I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. And hopefully she'll cherish that time also as a young kid hanging with her dad for about a good week straight.
So from
Yeah.
your perspective as dad,
Uh-huh.
what was the most valuable piece that you got just from your interaction? That when you guys were in the room alone together, what was the most valuable piece that you kind of gleaned from that experience of just being just you and Ava without me present?
Oh, okay. I'd say the experience of just being with her, I just got the chance to see how she thinks. What was interesting to me is how she interacted with other kids.
How so?
Because, you know, with me being at work, you know, I work a lot. You know, it's one thing seeing how she interacts with family amongst us. You know, me, you, her sister, her Grammy. That's one thing. But to see how she interacts with other people and how she thinks and do they influence her or is she an influence to them? Does she follow the crowd or do they follow her? And so that was some things that was intriguing to me. She asked a lot of questions on the trip also. We had a tour guide that basically guided us the whole, in all three cities, they took us on a guide throughout the whole city. And she asked a lot of questions. And that was interesting to me because, you know, when she's around here, she asks a lot of questions. She likes to play. She likes to look at TV, you know, do the teenage stuff. But to hear how her mind her mind was very inquisitive and she wanted to know a lot of information and she asked a lot of questions. And I was like, man,
She's very inquisitive.
yeah, she's inquisitive. She wants to know what's going on. And, you know, she liked hanging. It was certain times that she would want to be with me. And it was certain times when she just wanted to be with her friends, right? And so, especially the time when we sat down and ate, or we had dinner or we had lunch, she kind of wanted to sit with the rest of the kids and you know, socialize and be with them. But during the walk-in, when we was walking, you know, when we were going from city to city or from site to site, she would want to kind of walk with me and hang with me as we were, you know, moving back and forth from different sites in tour areas. And so that's what was intriguing to me, just to see how she interacted with her kids, because I'd never seen her around kids and just witness how she interacts with them, and that was intriguing.
So you said she wanted to walk with you when you guys were going in and out the various cities, in and out of the subways. But you said earlier, like when you guys were walking out in the various cities and going in and out of the subways, that she wanted to walk with you.
Right.
So what that says to me is that she knew that you were protection again, right?
Right.
Then
Okay.
when you got in a social setting, when she was with her friends, she knew that you were there. She was comfortable, but she felt safe enough to let you go wherever you need to go with the other adults while she socialized with her friends.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, again, it just shows you, you know, the different sides. I get it a lot because I'm home with her a lot.
Uh-huh.
And you're working, so I see the how she navigates different settings, how she socializes with her friends, how she has conversations. Even she and I, we have these off the wall conversations that I'm wondering, you know, how did she get that? But she is very inquisitive.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, yeah. So that's I guess, yeah, protection. You know, she felt during the time while we were moving around, walking, and that kind of thing. I guess she felt protected. I'm taking your word for it. That's what she felt. But yeah, that's what I got out the whole thing. Just seeing her communicate with other kids and how she's going to interact with just people, and as she grows and how she's maturing. Because sometimes I still see Ava as a 13-year-old. I still look at her as a little kid and a little baby.
You do. Look,
But-
think she's 5.
Yeah, I think she's 5 years old, but I'm just seeing how she's maturing right in front of our eyes, mentally, her thought pattern. I mean, these kids, they're way more advanced than we were when we were,
That's
11, 12, 13 years old. Because I guess they exposed to,
Well,
you got
social
internet
media
and
now.
social
They got
media.
internet, they got cell phones,
Exactly.
they got all this technology.
Exactly. So
And access to information.
Yeah, they got way more access to information than we ever had when we was coming up. I mean, we didn't have the cell phones until later on in our years, as we in our adult years. But I mean, they've had cell phones, ever since they were born. So they just have
Not
access.
born.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's been around since
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
it's
born.
been around.
Exactly, but they just got access to more technology than we have.
That's true.
Yeah. And
But
so-
that's why it's important too. You talked about taking this trip with her and spending time with her. Now, sometimes you see her as that little 5-year-old. I have to remind you, sometimes she's not 5, she's not 7, right?
Right,
But
right.
how we as parents, we have to grow as they grow. We have to grow with them. We can't, they can't grow and we not grow. In other words, they can't grow and navigate the world and be 13 and 14 and experience different things, and we still stay back where they were, 8 or 9. We have to grow with them, and we have to let them grow.
Right, exactly. You're right. You're definitely right about that. Well, that's basically what we want to discuss tonight is daddy-daughter time, mommy-daughter time, or just time with your kids in general, and how important it is for you to spend time with your kids and to actually see them grow, see them to mature mentally,
And make the time. I mean, and you don't
Yeah.
have to spend a whole lot of money. I mean, Ava, we're blessed. She's at a school where they do these cultural expeditions every year while they're in
Right.
middle school. But you can do something creative at your home. Sometimes we do puzzles together. We do painting. Sometimes we go bowling. We haven't done something in a while, but we go bowling. But it's important that you just create these little traditions because
Right.
they grow up and they grow up fast.
Fast.
In the next 5 years, Ava will be 18. And so it's important that we dig in and get with her and spend as much time with her as she is growing, because
Right.
I keep telling you, I'm going to be your only friend when she leaves. I keep telling you that. So they grow up.
Yeah,
And we got to grow with them.
and we got to grow with them. Exactly. So yeah, that's the moral of this whole video. Make the time, spend time with your kids, grow with your kids, have that bond with them.
Pick their little brains.
Pick their brains, talk to them, figure out what's going on in their mind, and don't have them. We want her to come to us about anything and everything. They shouldn't be afraid to come to you and talk to you about nothing. I mean,
So that depends on your reaction. So you
Okay.
got to watch your reaction when they telling you stuff. Stop reacting, Georgette. I used to do that a whole lot. Stop reacting, because then it makes them afraid to come and tell you and share with you. So as they're sharing, brace yourself to hear what you're gonna hear,
right,
but be open to hear it.
right.
And then I come talk to you about, what she said.
Exactly.
Yeah. But be open to hear what they gotta say.
Right. And as dads, your little girl coming to you saying, hey, I got a crush on this boy at school, sometime you be like, well, I don't know if I want to hear that, but hey, that's reality. We got to deal with it. They're your baby girl, but we got to deal with, hey, they growing up and they're going to have these feelings, they're going to have these thoughts. And I want her to be able to come to me and share that with me when she has those feelings and thoughts, especially about the opposite sex. So that's basically the moral of this video. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it the end here. and hope you enjoyed the content that we talked about. Like, share, comment, and also subscribe to this channel, the Andre Allen Network. And I'll share a little footage at the end of this video of the trip. All right, peace. Have a great
Good
night.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, no, it's an abstract. So it looks like it does lie here. Ashes pine left.
Flying out of the
Oh, yeah,
ashes.
this is all after.
That's what that's supposed to be.
This is an entrance way to where we're going. There's gonna be bathrooms in there, with something in there. I'm gonna see that. And we're gonna cross the street between a college and university.
Campus of
is.
Harvard.
Well, you can go to college for 4 years too, but it just usually, for the most part, I mean, most people would agree that the basic definition is that the universities tend to be a little bigger, and there's probably a lot more graduate programs. For the most part. I mean, we, as a society, kind of college and university is probably a little bigger, but just usually do teach. But it did start off as a college. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. And one of the things that it did is as it grew,